Hello and welcome to our very first virtual math lesson. Today we're going to be studying the idea of number value. Well, to review, if I have a basic number that looks like this, you might call that 15. Okay, but what if I do this? Now all of a sudden it's 150. Why do I change it? Why don't I just call it 15-0? Well, that has to do with the idea of number value. Let's take another look at another example. If I have, how would I say that? I would call it 462. Well, how would I write that down in English words? Here's how I would write it down. First, I'd say it out loud, 462. And now I would actually write out what I just said. 462. There we go. Now it's a little sloppy, but you get the idea. 462. Let's do that one more time. Let's take a look at this number. Notice what I've got here. This is called my decimal point. I would read that as 530.7. Because of this decimal point here, the number that comes after it is the tenths. Let's say it again. 530.7. Now let's write that down in English words. 530 and 7 tenths. $530.7. One thing I want to point out to you is that this decimal point here, when I say it in English, I say the word and. So when I write it down, I need to write the word and. All right, let's practice this idea in a little bit different of a way. I'm going to write down a big number. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to read it. 57,462. Now I'm going to underline one of the numbers. I just underlined the 6. Can you tell me what the value of that is? Is that 6 worth 1, worth 10, 100, 1,000, or 10,000? Because it is 2 places over, 1, 2, I'm going to call it the tens. So when I look at this number, 57,462, I know the 6 represents 6 tens. Okay, well what if I underline this number? The 5, what's the 5 worth? Is that going to be worth 1, 10, 100, 1,000, or 10,000? Let's read the number again. 57,462. 57,000. Well, that tells me that the 5 is worth 10,000 places. Because, let's say I've got my decimal point right here. I count how many places over I go from the decimal point. I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which tells me it is the 10,000th place. All right, let's take a look at number value in one more way. If I gave you this list of numbers, all right, I've got 5 3/10, 51, and 2/10. I'm going to make my decimal points a little bit bigger so you can see them. All right, now what I need to do is order them from least to greatest. Out of those three numbers, which one do you think is the smallest? Well, if you said 0 and 2/10, you'd be right. So let's rewrite it to be in order. 0 and 2/10 comes first. Well, now that we've gotten that one, I'm going to cross it off. Which one do you think comes next? 5 3/10 or 51? That's kind of tricky. You might say 51 because it's 5 and 1. But think about it this way. Who has more money? If Fred has $5.30 and Susie has $51, who has more money? Oh, you can tell. Susie does with 51. So that means the next biggest one is 5 3/10, followed by 51 is the biggest. That's how we reordered this to be from least to greatest. All right, if you need a review, go ahead and watch the video again.